Hi, everyone. It's been a while. Hmm? Yeah, I know. I think it's been like what, 7 days maybe since I posted my last video. But the video that I posted prior to my last one, I don't know if you guys remember that, but I was talking about living overseas and, when people, relatives get sick and stuff or pass away, the implications of things like that. So, yeah, for those last couple of weeks, I've had a close relative that was hospitalized, pneumonia, and there was a lot of activity from my family. I was talking to siblings, and pretty much the whole time we were making decisions and things of that nature about how to go on about because you don't want when you have a loved one that's going through something like that, you don't want them to suffer. You don't want to have things like you know try to keep them alive for the sake of keeping them alive if they're going to be in a vegetative state and all that stuff, because if the mind isn't there anymore, it's just a shell, and that's not fair. That's how we all saw it. So they had to put morphine and all kinds of things to make it so the pain wasn't awful or anything like that, and eventually they ended up passing away. I think it was Thursday last week, somewhere after midnight. Matter of fact, I just went to the bank before coming here, and I was making a wire transfer to my younger brother down there to help with medical bills and offset the cost of the funeral and cremation and all that stuff because I couldn't be there. So it's the best that I can do, that I am able to do right now. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on, and sometimes there's more to life than just making YouTube videos for the sake of making YouTube videos, especially when those videos, are really not getting a lot of attention or recognition for what they deserve and how useful they can be to people. But it's just the nature of mankind these days. People are not interested in things that will help them help themselves. That's pretty much the short version of it all. And, you know, like I said before, these things that I do, I get zero monetary value from it. There's nothing. So it's not like this is helping me pay my bills here. So yeah, that's pretty much what was happening to me for this past good couple of weeks or so. Just so you guys know. Not that I owe anybody an explanation, to be honest. I think I share sometimes way too much of my personal life in here, which is something that I really shouldn't be doing. And, I'm just going to tone it down because I don't see the reason and the point in doing something like that because we all have our own journey and story to go through here. And there are some things that sometimes are best kept to ourselves, right? Doesn't mean I'm going to be sharing some things about my personal life, but I think I've shared way more than I should sometimes. So just keep that in mind from this point forward, going from now on. I don't know when I'll make another video. I don't know how this whole YouTube thing is gonna go for me from this point forward, because like I said, this doesn't pay my bills. This is just something that I do for my love for mankind. But we live in a moment in time, generally speaking, when it comes down to humanity and the human aspect of things, that most people are too busy with their own lives and trying to survive and paying their bills, and to be worried, concerned, or even point their attention in the direction of the things that really should matter in life. It's just a sad reality that I have never been afraid to face it myself. But that's not the case with most people. Most people don't want to face these things. They don't want to deal with these things. They don't want to listen to these things. They don't want to hear to these things. Because there's something about truth that will strike people in a certain way, especially depending on the circumstances that they may be going through, whatever it may be happening in their personal lives and stuff, that when certain things are heard, it'll sting. And most people don't like that sting. So what they do is they turn around and walk away. They pretend they never heard. They pretend that that never happened. And they just go on with their lives the same way they've always had. Autopilot. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to stay in the comfort zone because it's worked out well so far for me. And that's just the reality of the situation for most people out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay if that's their choice, right? Nobody should be forced to do anything against their will. That's never going to work. It's never going to happen. And when it does happen, it still won't work. There will be whiplash and things from stuff like that. Because the truth is, in order for people to improve their lives, they have to be willing to do so. And there will be things that need to be done. You can call them whatever you want, sacrifices, compromises, you name it, doesn't matter. But you have to change your ways. Because if you don't change your ways, if we don't change our ways, change doesn't happen. Change is not something that falls from the sky in your lap without you doing anything. Unless you got some crazy dharma on the weighted scale just waiting to come your way, which it can happen and it will happen to some people, but those are, not ordinary for the majority of people out there. So when we're not happy with our lives for whatever reason, and there could be many reasons, right? We have to do something. Not doing anything ain't going to do nothing. It's not going to change anything. Sitting idle, thinking that some sort of magical reward or miracle is going to fall in your lap without you doing anything for it to happen, that's delusional. That's a delusional way of thinking and living your life, if we're going to be honest here. I've said this many times. I'm going to say this again. I'm not here to tell people things to make them feel good about themselves. If that's what you like, if that's your thing, this channel is really not for you. Go listen to whoever likes to gaslight you all the way to the moon and back if that's what you want. But just keep that in mind that that kind of stuff is not going to bring you any meaningful results if you are the type of person that wants to make a real change in your life. That's all that there is to it. So I just wanted to come here and give an update on things and see how everything is going. And that's the reason why I was absent for a little while. And I'm probably not going to be here as much as I used to anymore because I got other things to do with my life at this point. From this point going forward, I put plenty of time and effort into this platform without ever seeing good returns from it. And I'll leave it at that. So, yeah, this is this is um, this is where I've been. That's what I was doing, dealing with family stuff. And at least now I feel relieved because I know that wherever they are, at least they're at peace now. And there's no more suffering. And eventually we'll be reunited at some point again. I don't know when, but I know it'll happen. So, yeah, guys, this is it for me today. I hope everyone has a good rest of their days. And I'll catch you next time, whenever that happens. All right. Take care, everyone. Be safe. Till next time.